Folks, we are going to take a ride in the Squared Circle Time Machine into the land of when video stores ruled the world in the 90s. We're going to be taking a trip to take Paul Bearer and his hits from the Crypt on this episode of the Squared Circle Time Machine. I'm Greg with Dane, and Dane, WrestleMania has come and gone, and we have John Cena now as the new undisputed WWE champion, thanks to Travis Scott taking his sweet-ass time getting to the ring.
Travis Scott, really?
Dwayne was like, I'm not bothering to show up for this shit, pal.
Between Elimination Chamber with Cody telling The Rock to go F himself, and Dwayne just kind of disappears into the ether with all this talk about soul, and this is how we resolve it. And the fact that Cena hits Cody with about 4 AAs, a super AA, couldn't put him down, but a kick to the balls and a belt shot later after a distraction from Travis Scott, and that's what puts him down.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And the fact that even, I think, The Rock or Dwayne being on McAfee show telling people to just chillax, folks. It's all part of the story, man. And I'm like, do you even know what the story is anymore, Dwayne?
He comes off as such a fucking idiot whenever he says this shit.
I mean, I know the story that Rocky Johnson was a really hard ass on. He should have been a little bit harder on Dwayne about the business, at least.
Yeah, I wish Rocky Johnson, if I had a time machine for real, I'd tell him, you know what, you need to slap the shit out of your kid once in a while. Tell him that doesn't work, pal. You think Rock's grandmother, taught him this booking? Because if she did, Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Enough about that shit. Jey Uso is the new world heavyweight champ.
And we got a very angry Gunther now, who's going out and trying to murder Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Probably much more to your delight for McAfee.
Oh, yeah. Screw that anti-vax platformer.
I knew the moment I saw Gunther choking out McAfee, like, Greg's going to be loving this.
Oh, I love the shit out of it. I'm like, that is great. That is fantastic. They should just turn him babyface right now, Gunther. He's babyface to me now, so good on you.
Good on you, Gunther. Probably a very bittersweet moment for Jey. I mean, it probably wasn't the best way for him to become champion in an opening match, but you know what? He's champion. The fans, the live crowd at least loves him. That's what matters at the end of the day.
I'm sure Keish was proud of his son.
Oh, yes.
And we'll be talking about Keish later on in this episode. But I want to point out, we actually got a 5-star women's match from Dave Meltzer at WrestleMania.
Oh, yes, because you know what? Overall, the women stole the entire weekend, in my opinion. From Stand and Deliver, we had a pretty good ladder match for the vacated women's North American title that Sol Ruka won, which I think she was actually my original pick to be the first women's North American champion before they decided to go with Kalani Jordan. And then we had the four-way there on Stand and Deliver with Stephanie Vaquer, who we'll talk about later as well, too, against Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker, and that was pretty good. And then even Saturday, WrestleMania Saturday, we had a pretty decent beginnings with Jade Cargill and Naomi now looking like Jason Sensation's impersonation of Owen Hart during the Nation of Domination era.
Oh, God, yes.
And we had the spectacular Barbie-themed entrance for Tiffany Stratton. And thankfully, she beat Charlotte Flair, and now Charlotte Flair can disappear into the ether as well. And
oh, yeah. I want more Tiffy.
And especially going the direction after last night on SmackDown, looks like we could be seeing another Tiffy Nia Jax feud happening.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know people kind of still think Nia's dangerous and stuff, but she's definitely
improved.
She's improved over her last tenure, so that's. And now let's talk about Sunday, because good Lord, was that match definitely deserved to be recognized as 5 stars, and probably I think that's even Dave's first opener 5-star match for a WWE pay-per-view for a long time. But the only one I can think of was, or close to being 5 stars, would have been Bret Owen at WrestleMania 10. And meanwhile, peak Kurt Angle, still no 5 stars.
Actually, believe it or not, this is the second match in WWE this year Dave's given 5 stars to, because he gave Kevin and Sammy 5 stars.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's... Now, if only Dave didn't break his own scale to go into 6 and 7 stars, that would mean something. But God, that wasn't, like I said, Raw after Mania, getting that really awesome match between Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer. That's going to be a money match down the road.
Oh, yeah. When Stephanie gets called up to the main roster, the sky's the limit for her when she gets to
yeah. Meanwhile, Vince is probably punching the air watching 2 non-English speaking women basically tear the weekend down.
Like, I imagine Vince is like, God damn, Paul, what the hell are you doing?
Why are these women not even in fetish clothes yet? Where's that Io in the geisha outfit and that, I don't know, put that Julia in some kind of French maid outfit too. That's good shit, pal.
Now, can I just say, of all the ways to bring Becky back, that is the stupidest fucking way to bring her back.
It made no sense at all. And even hearing I got a kind of feel for Bayley, because it seemed like she really got thrown around this. Because, I mean, it seemed like logically we were building towards Bayley versus Roxanne Perez maybe at Mania. But then they kind of pulled out that whole feud out from under both of them. And then we got all of a sudden Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And it seemed like, okay, that's fine. And then we get the injury angle with Bayley on Friday. So then it's like, okay, who's going to be Lyra's partner now? Oh, okay, Becky Lynch. And then they win the title and then drop him the next night anyways on the Raw after Mania. And then Becky decides to turn on her partner for reasons.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. This whole thing made no sense at all. Why not just have Bayley and Lyra win the belts, bring back Becky the night after Mania, and then attack Bayley? I don't get it.
Or maybe she'll be part of this new dangerous alliance that's now forming between Paul Heyman, Seth, and because I thought for a few weeks it sounded like they were dropping the freaking part, and now they decided to bring back the freaking. So What the freaking heck is going on with Seth's name?
Well, I saw Seth at the draft last night make the Chicago Bears pick. He was all decked out in a custom WWE Bears title belt. He was having a lot of fun playing heel of the Green Bay crowd at Lambeau. But I will say, it didn't make the final cut of the last episode. But I did say to you, Dane, I have a feeling that Paul's going to turn and end up with Seth at the end.
I was kind of feeling that too as well. And you know what? We were both soothsayers in that event. Now to see where this goes. Because it seems like we'll be doing Cena's greatest hits for a bit, because as he'll be facing Randy Orton at Backlash. So are we going to be getting, and I'm guessing Cody is going to be in line for a rematch somewhere down the line.
I'm going to guess they're going to switch the belt back at SummerSlam at MetLife.
Yeah, good guess for that. And now, what are we going to do with Jey Uso now? I'm also glad, at least, I was almost thinking, like, when Sami Zayn came out, I was like, please don't turn Sami heel. And he just came out and congratulated Jay and hugged. And Big Jim comes out, and it's a big Usi party.
But I also want to mention, hey, did you see that a fan got adopted by Rhea?
Yes, you showed me that video, and I'm like, you lucky bagger.
What a lucky guy. He gets to be raised by both Rhea and Kathy Kelly.
Yes, and meanwhile, poor Buddy Murphy is just sitting in the corner and just sobbing to himself and like, this never happened before in the wrestling business. My wife is more popular than I am. There's a support group for people like me.
You know what? I would love to be adopted by Rhea. Sure, it'd be weird because Rhea is like maybe a decade younger than me, but it could work.
It would work, yeah. I mean, it's weirder things have happened. I mean,
now, one thing I need to finally get off my chest. I think we've kind of not been able to talk about it for a while, but I want to point this out, okay? There's no fucking way that the max numbers for AEW are good, equal to, or better than the NBA or the White Lotus.
as a person who doesn't even have Max here, because we don't even have that here in Canada, because all the HBO programming is actually co-owned by Bell, who has it on their streaming service called Crave TV. So does Max even have the numbers that they're claiming to have?
Well, let me just see what they advertised.
Even talking to other people that know things a bit more about, a lot of people say that like Max is like at the bottom end of like in terms of subscribers of all the services available in like the United States.
I think the pecking order is probably like Netflix is 1, Disney Plus is 2. I want to say,
and Paramount's
4, and I think Max is 5.
Yeah.
Max, I think, originally was like maybe considered when it started like one of the high-end stream services until the Discovery merger. And that's when they started pulling content from it when Zasloff became the chief of it. Man, isn't it sure weird that the only person that is loved by the most heated executive right now in entertainment, David Zasloff, is Tony frickin' Khan?
They must share the same dealer, I think.
Okay, let me just get the Hollywood Reporter press release for the White Lotus here for the finale. The White Lotus did 6.2 million cross-platform viewers. And let me just, I don't know if it even mentions how many watched on HBO and how many watched on Max. If 500,000 people who watched the last episode of Dynamite on AEW were watching it on TBS or TNT or whatever, I'm supposed to believe that it's doing better on streaming than cable on a platform not everybody has. And whenever I open Max, I never see it advertised AEW.
No, I mean, it's even hard to even just get things, even see things. Like, even I know here with Netflix in Canada, like, it's since they've had Well, more so because it's now knows my algorithm already. I'm getting like a lot of recommendations for WWE programming stuff. Yeah, it's kind of fishy to me. Even since TNA started airing on Sportsnet 360, it seems to be getting a lot more attention here in Canada. Although, mind you, right now it's probably going to be bounced around a lot because first
Oh,
round of the
NHL playoffs on Sportsnet.
yeah.
Okay, so just to be clear on the Stanley Cup playoffs, you think it's going to be Winnipeg winning it all?
I can't. It's hard to say with Winnipeg winning because they're really snake bitten. Because Winnipeg as a team overall doesn't do well in the playoffs. They got the President's Trophy curse. Helen Burke seems to be a great regular season goalie, but seems to get shot out in during the playoffs. So I can see them making them at least to the second round. And I'm gonna probably go out on a limb and probably say it's gonna be Dallas versus Florida this year in the finals.
I don't want to see either the Panthers or the Lightning in the finals. I do not want to see a team from the Sandusville win the Stanley Cup again. I do not. So I'm praying to God, either Ottawa or Winnipeg, please win the cup. I just want your country to have the Stanley Cup again, for crying out
Yeah.
loud.
Oh God, yeah, because I don't see Edmonton doing. They're gonna. I mean, yesterday they at least finally woke up and were able to get some actual goals into LA, but I don't see them making it past the first or second round again this season because it's for whatever reason they seem to like their goalie coach and they seem to like sticking Skinner in situations where he's getting blasted at least every second game.
Well, enough about the hockey talk.
Yep.
We're here to talk about wrestling. And we have to go back to 1994, the year my New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup.
Yes, and against my Vancouver, well, it's kind of our Vancouver Canucks.
And we're going to the Crypt. It's Paul Bear's hits from the Crypt, courtesy of Coliseum Home Video.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I love this opening with the Undertaker's theme song with the
red video filtering.
And Paul welcomes us like, oh, yes, welcome to Paul Bear's WWF Hits from the Crypt. Oh, I've chosen a special place today. I'm going to be in this old theater. It's very important to me and my Undertaker. Sometimes we come here to chill out. Really? They go to an old theater and chill out?
Well, I'm guessing, I don't know. I mean, depending on how much money Paul Bearer is making off the merchandising off the Undertaker, I'm sure him and Taker could have afforded to, like, pay and rent a theater for their own private showings.
Yeah, but what were they going to do at the theater? I mean, it's like, what, just their own private showings with, like, dead people?
I guess. I don't. Maybe also brought Kane once in a while on a day pass out from the mental institution, too.
Yeah, come out and watch when Taker wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonder if that was in Chiappetta's book.
Oh, the more we talk about the book, I think we're going to probably end up having to do an episode on that book.
I don't know how we could top the one that Kevin did about that book.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Poor Adam having to read that book. But Paul's like, I picked some very special matches just for you. We're going to see Lex Luger and Double J Jeff Jarrett. And also we're going to see Lex and Macho Man take on Yokozuna and Crush. And Mr. Fuji will be in their corner. Oh, yes.
I mean, that's even weirder because, I mean, you'd figure Paul Bearer would, like, pick more Taker matches, but I'm guessing 94, this is probably when Taker took his little vacation there and was storyline dead, and then we had the whole Undertaker versus Undertaker stuff at SummerSlam, and so I can kind of see why they didn't maybe go too crazy with the Taker stuff.
Okay, but I wonder in storyline, Coliseum Video goes to Paul Bear and is like, now, Paul, do you have any idea for some matches for this tape? Oh, yes!
Oh, yes! The Quebecers and Double J versus Men in a Mission and Doink the Clown! Oh, yes!
And somebody at Coliseum Video was like, that's a great idea, Paul. We're going to put it on this tape.
Let's put it on this tape and then let's bring in, on the weekend, let's bring in Gorilla Monsoon and Sweet Stan Lane in for commentary, voiceover.
Oh, and we're going to talk about how great this commentary is. So first we got Lex Luger against Double J Jeff Jarrett. And Gorilla talks about, man, Double J, what a piece of work he is. I bet he gets it from his dad.
I'm like, wow, that was like, I know as I kind of mentioned, let's not forget also, like, non kayfabe wise here speaking, Jerry Jarrett was almost going to be the replacement had Vince been found guilty and went to jail after all the steroid distribution stuff. Imagine the WWF with Double J being the top dog.
Oh, God.
Decade away from my world, my world.
My world, my world, my world. But, Lex comes out, and, how nice. Lex picked up a dropped hat, a fan dropped.
How nice. This is, of course, made in the USA, Lex Luger. Last time we saw him, he was the narcissist. Now he's Mr. USA, shaking babies and kissing hands and whatnot.
But, this is a tremendous match. And by tremendous match, I mean the commentary for this match is just amazing. All the Stan Lane Gorilla Monsoon commentary is so great. Now, I did not care for Stan Lane as a TV announcer, but oh boy, he's great with Gorilla on this tape because it's clear that they do not give a fuck who's listening to this commentary.
Well, yeah, and we even have like Gorilla kind of slagging Luger off a bit, like saying that he's looking a bit lethargic in the ring there. I'm like, come on, he's not like the Hammer Valentine. It's not going to be like take him 20 minutes to warm up and get going. But actually, I think Street Stan Lane said that Gorilla used to have a body like Lex did back in his youthful days.
That had to be a rib.
But then, of course, later on we'll get a different body dysmorphia idea about Gorilla's body. But
I will say, I do love that with Double J, that Gorilla would always bring up that, yeah, Double J, I've never heard him sing.
Already planting the seeds for the great Jeff Jarrett Roadie Dog feud that we would never get to see materialize on WWF TV.
Oh no. Jeff has Lex in a sleeper, but guess what, Dane? Stupidly, Jeff is trying to have Lex's shoulders to the ground to pin him, and Gorilla's like, that's not a pinning combination. There's no jeopardy here being pinned with this hold. I love Gorilla just shitting on that. Like, oh, come on, like that ever happened.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this match has gone 15 minutes. Jesus Christ.
This is the first of Paul Bear's picks.
Yeah, well, he obviously liked it for its endurance. But Lex wins this match with the torture rack, or as it's called in the WWF, the Rebel rack. I don't know why they called it that. I guess Lex is made in the USA, so
made in the USA, kind of a rebel. The Revolution of 1776, Johnny Come Marching Home, and all that wonderful stuff. Because he's got his one theme there, and then the other next match that he appears in, he's got the Stars and Stripes Forever March theme. So it's kind of like they kind of seem to have the matches out of order, it seemed.
Yeah, this did not do a good job in chronological order, these matches.
Yeah.
You could just tell whoever organized this tape did not give a fuck what continuity. these matches took place then. But Paul Bear's like, oh, the man made in America, Lex Luger, is the winner. And he says, did I tell you that this place is an old theater built in the 1800s? It's one of me and the Undertaker's favorite spots. In fact, you might see a ghost by every now and then. But don't pay attention to that. Could you imagine if we had a ghost on video, Dane, in this tape?
I'm almost thinking, in their range of popularity, I'm surprised we never got a WWE crossover with Ghost Hunters.
Oh, yeah, that would have been terrific.
I mean, I think I've seen, like, on YouTube, like, I think there was, I think, a few years ago, I think Shotzi and Scarlett, I think they went to like a supposed haunted house and they went and through there and
oh yeah, that's fake haunted house shit.
Yeah.
I want to see a real fucking ghost. I want to see like Giant Gonzalez appear as a ghost. I mean, I want to see freaking Big Boss Man appear as a ghost. I want to see like ghost wrestling. That'd be like hilarious.
Ghost wrestling and ghost poker. That's what we need.
Real ones remember ghost poker.
Stop playing ghost poker! Oh, man. Apparently they're not very happy with ghost poker. Whoa! Whoa! The 3MB! the 3M... Oh, man. 3M, they're getting me all choked up here. It's 3MB's playing ghost poker, throwing around them. Oh, man.
You know, it's real strange that Damian Priest at WrestleMania wrestled a ghost.
Yes.
But we got Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels Intercontinental Championship match. Oh yeah.
And also we get, I'm guessing this was just a new appearance or one of the earliest appearances of Kevin Nash as Diesel.
Well, Diesel had appeared like before SummerSlam, so this would have been right after Razor won the Intercontinental belt after it was vacated. So I'm going to guess by the timeline, this is like late 93, early 94. So Diesel's been in the company roughly 6 months at this point.
Okay.
But I'm going to share with you, Dane, this sign a fan has for Razor. It's a cardboard sign that says Razor Ramon. And then I guess this is a decent drawing of the Intercontinental title. And is the real Intercontinental Champion, not Shawn I guess this her hand is covering up Michaels.
Yeah, or ran out of room to fully write in Michaels. I mean, it's no Hogan Fears Union's sign, but it'll do.
Now, I love that we have Standing Gorilla back on commentary for this, and then the following match after this. Because, as I mentioned, that they don't give a shit about what's going on. I said to you that at one point, Gorilla chastises a fan in the front row walking, say, "Give me a break. You could have at least bought a hot dog or something."
Yeah, and Gorilla referring to Ramon as the Razor Man,
But I like how at one point, like, Razor goes for like a razor's edge, and he tries to pull the concrete. And no, doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, what was Razor planning to do by pulling the padding to give him Razor's edge? Like, that wasn't gonna work.
Thankfully, Shawn kind of weaseled out of that position too, because like, not destroying my back that badly yet.
But Dane, we have a double count out in this match.
Oh, yes, we do. But then we have Razor getting on the house mic, and say, "Hey, Chico, you call yourself the real champion? You're not. I'm the real champ. Let's settle this now, man." And the referee decides, okay. So we kind of got a weird, Dusty type finish here that the title didn't change hands, but it was a double count out, but we're going to restart the match anyways.
Yeah, I guess so. But oh no, Joey Marella has been knocked down, Dane. And
Oh no!
oh,
And then we get extended beat down by, or not beat down, but we get deliberate interference from Diesel. And the referee is still down, and no one seems to be coming to ringside to either replace Joey or wake up Joey or
oh yeah.
where's rushing time traveling Charles Robinson to come in to save today?
And I love that Stan is like so angry. He's like, oh man, the refs must be at backstage playing cards or something. Like Mike Chioda, Tim White, all the refs are probably backstage. They're probably having an intense poker game. And Guerrero's like, I may have to go out and officiate this one myself.
Joey, Dad, no.
But oh, finally,
Thank
Marty Jannetty's like, I'm not going to stand for this shit.
Oh yes, good old Marty Jannetty. Referee kind of wakes up finally in time, and Marty gives a clobber into Sean. Razor schoolboys him 1, 2, 3, and we got ourselves still the champion.
Oh God, this is like the most fucked up match of all time. I'm sorry, but this match should have just ended after the double countdown. I mean, come on. This was overbooked as shit.
Especially at the end, like I said, they should have just left it as a double count out and just let them brawl to the back. We didn't need all this dramatic restart the match and then ref bump, Diesel interference, Marty run in, schoolboy.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I got this paused at 41:56 as Diesel's like pissed over the match. Okay, tell me this guy in the WrestleMania shirt is not a dead ringer for the angry video game nerd.
Let me see here.
I got it on the share screen.
Yeah, I see it there. I'm just increasing. Kind of does look like a youngish James Ralph. Yes.
Yeah. But Paul's like, oh, what a great match. Just when the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels thought he had it all, his former tag team partner, Marty Jannetty, appeared out of nowhere. And of course, Razor Ramon was the winner. Oh, yes. Now I want to show you this room over here. It's a very special room, a dressing room. Come on in. Oh, don't be scared. Oh, this one is one of the, this room where, in this theater, W.C. Fields, Mae West, Harry Houdini, they use this room as a dressing room. Oh, yes. And sometimes you can feel their spirits in here. Oh, yes!
I'm almost expecting like Tony Storm to show up right away with doing the timeless gimmick and recite some kind of dirty limerick.
Oh, that would have been awesome if we had Tony Storm 30 years in the past deliver something here as a ghost.
You know, and I kind of mentioned it. I'm kind of surprised that she didn't pitch the whole time, or maybe she did, and of course it went way over Vince's head. I'm surprised she didn't pitch the timeless gimmick to the WWE just before she was released. All she had to do to sell it was just tell Vince, I'll be wearing white Granties, okay? Vince would have been like, God damn it, pal.
But our next match on this tape is Mabel against Bam Bam Bigelow. And it's like, oh, it's the main squeeze for Bam Bam, Luna Vachon. Now, I mentioned this on the podcast when this term was brought up. But Dane, what in the name of fuck is a main squeeze?
A main squeeze, from what I gathered from what's happening, is that they are one of those couples that are just really into each other. Even Gorilla and Stan are like speculating, like, do I hear wedding bells in the future for these two?
Yeah, they're like Johnny Polo, I heard, got an invitation to the wedding.
Oh, we'll talk about that knobhead soon.
I love how they're like, I wonder where the wedding is going to take place. Maybe at a Harley Davidson convention or something.
Yeah.
But then, holy crap, it's Oscar doing a rap on Luna and Bam Bam. Put your
And the
hands
crowd.
in the air.
Put your hands in.
Just yeah.
And camera cuts to the whitest people probably doing their best white people dance to that motion.
And I love when Oscar says, "Oh yeah," Gorilla's going, "Oh yeah."
Oh, yeah.
I never thought I'd hear Gorilla get into a rap.
Well, maybe he was part of the entourage who saw him perform and thought that he'd be a good hire for them.
Who knows? Maybe Randy pitched Oscar to Gorilla first, and he was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's like I can only imagine. What would Gorilla be like? Would he be listening to like Crisscross or something?
Well, 93, 94, they would have been. I mean, heck, we got like even Oscar fighting the Whoop There It Is chant, so that was like pretty big at that time too. So I'm sure he would have been a tag team fan. But real ones also know that the Space Jam track is the real hit for tag team.
Oh yes. Now, I also love that Mabel wrestles like maybe 2 or 3 minutes in his warm-up jacket.
Take that off, you maybe won't get blown up so easily wrestling in your warm-up gear.
Stan says Oscar could be a buffet buster. You know what? I'm going to play some of the audio here right now. So
yeah, we need to let people know some of these.
Oh yeah, everyone needs to hear the greatness that is Gorilla and Stan on this tape.
Wow, listen to that voice on Luna.
Can you imagine coming home late for dinner and have to deal with that?
Where have you been? Well, melodic tones, they are not emanating from the vocal cords of the main squeeze.
And what on earth could the possible offsprings of those two look like?
Wow. What do you want to see the gene pool there? Listen to that voice. That is, I would term that raucous. And obviously a bad hair day for Luna Deshawn, too. Look at that hair.
But she is a real competitor.
I asked her one time, Gorilla, where she got her hair cut, and she said, on the sides.
Oh, please.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We have a double count out, I think.
Yes, we do, and no one decides to restart the match for this one, but thankfully they don't, because good lord, was that... I kind of just, like, I rolled, like, when Mabel did, like, this really lazy-looking sides kick, and it was just...
You know, it's really bad when so far the highlight of this tape is Lex against Double J.
Yep. Hopefully that will improve as we go along.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Paul's like, "Are you looking for me? Oh, I would never leave you alone, especially in a dark, cold place like this. Oh, yeah. I told you that last match would be great. It's just too bad that it had to end in a double countout." Well, I agree, Paul. It is too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Meanwhile, everybody's been watching the story between the Head Shrinkers and the Quebecers. How Captain Lou came back to the World Wrestling Federation and took the Head Shrinkers under his wing. Then finally, the Head Shrinkers got the match they wanted against the Quebecers, Jacques and Pierre. And you can watch that match, and I'll meet you upstairs, and then I'll show you the rest of the theater. Yes, yes. So we then cut to a match from a Monday Night Raw in mid-1994 between the Quebecers and the Head Shrinkers for the WWF Tag Team titles. Now, I do remember the lead up to this match, Dave, where Captain Lou was coming out of retirement to manage a team, to face the Quebecers. And the team he picked was the Head Shrinkers, which makes a lot of sense given he's probably still close with Alpha.
Yeah. I kind of remember that segment too, and we're even remembering as well as I think there was also like some kind of tag team summit where we had I think for some reason the Bushwhackers were a part of it too. Like they were trying to figure out who the next challengers for the Quebecers would be. And then Captain Lou comes out and he says he's got a team that he's wanting to put into consideration. And then the next week after, he's back. He's advising the Head Shrinkers because I think Alpha is still being credited as their manager, so he's just an advisor.
Yes.
And of course, this being from Raw, we now have on commentary, you have Vince and Macho Man Randy Savage back on commentary.
Oh, yeah. Now I got to pause here. Johnny gave Fink the buddy ears. Meanwhile, we have this fan here at 5626 wearing this sweet Georgetown Hoyas t-shirt. And I'm guessing a Georgetown Hoyas hat. And this is in Burlington. So it's like he went to Vermont wearing his Georgetown gear. Okay. Oh, but we got the Head Shrinkers coming out. They got a great pop here.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the tag team championship match getting underway here. And I think they point out, because this match is in Burlington, Vermont, that Vince says we're only 100 miles away from Montreal. So there's probably some Quebecers fans here tonight. And Randy points out that, well, I don't think many people from Samoa made the trip, even though they're going to hear about it.
I guess Samoa is an American territory because I know later on in the match we get a USA chant, and I think Randy points that out too, that they must be chanting for America Samoa. Yeah.
I love Randy pointing out logic in the chants as to why they'd be chanting that. But I still think that this is an incredible match.
Oh, yeah. And of course, we got the Quebecers deciding to pull the old Money Inc. trick. Okay, let's just go. We don't need to continue on with this match. And then we also get as well the WrestleMania 9 announcement from, was that Tony Chimo or was that the Fink still on the?
Yeah, it was Fink.
Okay, because then we get the Fink saying, if the Quebecers do not return to the ring by the count of 10, they will lose the match and lose their titles.
And Jacques and Pierre are like, oh, fuck, we got to get back to the ring.
Oh, shit, here we go again. And we get a little bit of miscommunication between Jacques and Pierre. Pierre decides to wallop Jacques for some reason. And then that leads to the Shrinkers getting the momentum and Splash and new tag team champions.
Yeah. And they get a really big pop, Samu and Fatu, when they win the belts.
Well, yeah. I mean, considering the last time we saw them at WrestleMania 9, they were heels, and now they're faces here and getting a decent pop. And it's kind of like thinking, well, what happened? Because I know we get the whole new Head Shrinkers where Samu is gone, and we get Barbarian subbing in now for him as using his surname Sione, and then we get Captain Lou just trying to civilize him by wearing boots, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and then Fatu is wanting to make a difference and kind of beefing with his former street gang buddies there, and then converts to Islam and becomes a sultan.
And then he comes back as Rikishi?
Yeah.
Okay. We got another match from Monday Night Raw coming up here as Earthquake takes on Adam Bomb with Harvey Whippleman.
This was advertised as a WrestleMania 10 rematch, and as well as we get a bit more of the ongoing feud between Harvey Whippleman and Howard Finkel. Around this time, we had the infamous tuxedo match between Harvey and Howard. Was that on a Raw or was that a MSG show?
That was on a Monday Night Raw between the two.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the fact that they are very timely when Harvey goes to confront Fink, and I think Vince brings up the moment on Letterman that happened recently where Madonna cursed on Letterman.
I'm surprised that they were pretty topical with, like, when I watched the debut episode of Raw, and I remember they were, because you had Rob Bartlett there doing his Mike Tyson impersonation, and then we had advertised as a possible main event next week. Woody Allen versus Mia
Farrow in a steel cage match. Could you imagine if that had actually happened?
could have Vince done, like, found some indie workers to do like Woody Allen and Mia Farrow if he was that petty?
I'm sure he would have. I mean, freaking, he got like someone to portray Obama and Hillary that one time.
Yeah. And of course, in '96, we got whoever he got to do Ted Turner there for the Billionaire Ted's sketches there.
You notice how we've talked about anything other than this match?
Because, well, it was a standard earthquake match, and the only thing of interest was, like I said, just Howard Finkel and Harvey Whippleman continuing their feud, and Adam Bomb getting in some hope spots, and Earthquake coming back and landing the giant whoopsie, and there you go.
I do appreciate Gorilla gave Earthquake's splash a 6.5 on the Richter scale.
Yes. And that was kind of a weird transition because this is quite the jarring commentary because we had the first three matches, Gorilla and Stan, obviously from the studio, and then we had these two from Monday Night Raw, or maybe this one was where we had Vince and Macho, and now we have Vince and Gorilla, and then in the next match we're going to have Vince and Macho again.
Oh, but before we get to the next match, we're now in the theater where Paul's walking around being like, "Oh, I hope you understand why this theater is so special to me and my Undertaker." Oh, yes. All the ornate wooden carvings, the beautiful upholstery. I just love it. I hope you've loved all the matches you've seen so far. Adam Bomb and Earthquake, the Quebecers and the Head Shruggers. Oh, and now the World Wrestling Federation champion, Bret the Hitman Hart, is going to face Quang, the martial arts expert. Oh, yes.
The martial arts expert who doesn't really do too many martial arts moves and looks a little Puerto Rican than Asian.
Yeah, you got that vibe too, huh, Dane?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think he's... Another time he might have been TNT.
Oh, yeah, he would have definitely been TNT Dynamite.
Dynamite.
But yeah, this is your typical Bret championship match against the person who you know is not going to win the championship, but he's going to do his damn best to make him shine in this match.
Yes. And for all the jokes, I mean, for Quang at least brought back the old staple of the evil green mist that I don't think hasn't been in the WWF before then. I think the last person to do that would have been Killer Khan.
Yeah, sure. I think so.
Because I think I saw like on Facebook Reels, I think that someone had a clip of, I think it was Killer Khan and Mr. Fuji, and they were facing off each other in, I think, the snake pit, and then Khan just blew the mist in Hogan's face, and Hogan did an excellent job selling it. Like he's just been poisoned in the eyes, brother.
I do appreciate that Owen Hart was nice enough to make a phone call to Vince and Macho about how he's going to beat Bret on the WrestleMania Revenge Tour.
Oh, yes. This was obviously recorded before King of the Ring 94 because he's still referred to as the Rocket Owen Hart.
Yeah, if this was after King of the Ring, you know, Gorilla, if he was on commentary, he would have referred to Owen as the Rocket King. I love how Gorilla would refuse to call him the King of Hearts. He'd just call him the Rocket King. Like, this is fucking stupid. I'm not calling him that.
Well, we could always bring back Art Donovan and to be confused and asking silly questions about how much everyone weighs.
All right, so Bret, He puts Quang in the sharpshooter. He retains the championship. But I will say, that was a good match.
Yes,
For what it was.
For what it was. Yeah, like I said, it's your typical Brett versus evil mid-carder of the week.
Okay, but now, Dave, we got probably a match that I, as a 10 or 11-year-old kid, would have been very excited for in this tape. We have the Quebecers and Double J taking on Men on a Mission and Doink.
Yeah. And sadly not the Doinks on a Mission.
No, I'm sad that Mo and Mabel didn't show up in the clown makeup again.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is a dream for me because at ringside for Men on a Mission and Doink, you have Oscar and Dink.
Aw.
I mean, come on. And I don't think Johnny Polo's at ringside, so I think
No.
the face team has a big advantage here.
Yes, they do. They have two. They have one mischievous little person and one big rapper guy.
Yep. All right, so I got to play the commentary here because we got a couple of references here from Gorilla, some deep cuts. I got to play here for the audience.
Look at Little D.
Now, Jacques and Raymond. No, it's not Jacques and Raymond, is it?
No, Raymond retired. Now it's Pierre.
Well, Raymond was smart. He was the only smart one there was. Had enough brains to leave these two alone by themselves. But they only speak French to one another. How's Double J going to understand that?
Yeah, you got that right. Maybe he's got a French to English translation thing in the corner there.
How's there going to be any continuity there?
Well, already Double J massaging the shoulder of Jacques, trying to get up the better side, I guess. Look at that. Is that what they do up in Canada? Do men hug each other like that, Will?
They walk hand in hand, too, just like they do in Russia. It's quite a thing, but, it's easily understood because Pierre, of course, doesn't know what day of the week it is, and Jacques has been brain dead ever since spending the night in the Slammer in the Big Apple. He has never been the same. Well,
Gorilla, Raven was smart enough to retire and leave Jacques all alone. And then mentioning, Jacques never has been the same since Big Boss Man beat him and he was in the Slammer and the Big Apple. Oh my God. You could definitely tell they didn't give a fuck about what to say on this thing.
Yeah. And you know what? Since WWE Vault Channel seems to be on a mission to be finding all kinds of hidden treasures and stuff like that, I would love for them to find like a B-roll of all these recording sessions.
Oh yeah, I would love to hear like Gorilla with Johnny Polo, with Stan Lane, with Bobby. Just have like the best of Gorilla on commentary.
Yeah.
I even think like for the international like commentary, I think when he was still the president of the WWF, I think for like International Shotgun, I think he did color with Kevin Kelly.
I kind of remember that for a bit because we got the international version of Shotgun up here too, and he would show up. It was either Gorilla and Kevin Kelly, or it ended up being Doc Hendricks and Kevin Kelly. If by any chance any WWE Vault interns are listening to this podcast, that's your next mission, boys and girls.
Yeah, find the B-roll of Gorilla on commentary and like create like some YouTube short of this because we would love to see it. But oh man, this was like a very fun 6-man tag team match.
Yeah, this gave like Chikara Pro Trios tournament vibe. Like it was a definite feel-good match.
But the best part is, my favorite part of this is, okay, Doink and Dink are running after Double J. And so it's like, I think Pierre's gone and it's Jacques all alone. And then, the best part here, Mo is in the corner and he pushes Mabel, squashes Jacques, and it's 500 pounds of Mabel crashing onto Jacques for the 1, 2, 3.
And all the party people go, hey!
Hey! Meanwhile, back at the theater, Paul Bear's like, yeah, I'd like to take a look at a very, very special box. This is the box where my Undertaker and myself come sometime on nice, cold, dreary evenings to watch performances. Yes, of all the ghosts from the past. Yes. Speaking of the past, I hope you enjoyed all the past matches on this VHS tape. The excellence of execution against Quang, the big six-man tag team match, where Mabel of Men on a Mission smashed Jacques the Quebecer and made him into a pancake 1, 2, 3 right in the middle of the ring. And now it's time for the event that I promised you. Oh, yes. We have the exclusive Coliseum video match between Lex Luger and the Macho Man Randy Savage against Yokozuna and Crush. And oh no, Macho Man, he's limping to the ring.
No.
Oh man.
Could that come to play in this match?
Who knows?
And actually, I'm kind of surprised because I thought he was already there as... I'm kind of surprised not to have seen Jim Cornette there. I thought he was already there as the American spokesperson for Yokozuna, because Fuji was just getting a bit too old and ramberly.
Well, also remember, Jim Cornette probably has dates at Smoky Mountain with the Heavenly Bodies.
That's right. I forgot that he's got. Which I think it was a few years ago that I learned that apparently Rick Rubin was the money mark for Smoky Mountain.
Oh yes.
As I just remember seeing Rick Rubin hit there on, they showed him a few times at WrestleMania here past weekend there. So yeah, I'm kind of, I guess he likes that corporate wrestling now a bit.
Hey, I would rather have Rick Rubin fund a wrestling promotion in 2025 than Billy Corgan.
Oh, God, yes.
I love the fact that Gorilla and Stan, they're talking about, wow, Yokozuna, he hasn't missed too many meals, huh?
Well, I didn't miss too many meals too much in my heyday either. And I'm guessing this is also just before Mania, before Crush and Macho had their last man standing match there.
Oh, the Falls Count Anywhere match.
Falls Count Anywhere, yeah.
You know what? I kind of love that match. I know a lot of people hate it, but I love the spot in the match where Mr. Fuji finds like a pitcher of water and pours it all over Crush's face to wake him up. Like, who had a pitcher of water just sitting there at ringside at MSG?
Well, Burt Reynolds was going to be thirsty when he got around to the main event.
Oh, yeah, he probably might have, because remember, he got mugged, I think, the night or the weekend during Mania. Yeah, why would anyone mug poor Burt? This is kind of a decent match.
Decent tag match between... And it can still show that Macho can still go at that age, and it's like kind of like surprised that Vince didn't use him more often in-ring talent, but wanted him more on commentary. Which I think was one of the reasons why he, between that and the Slim Jims deal, I think that's why he actually left.
Okay, so the finish is Danny Davis is distracted by Mr. Fuji, and Crush is trying to set up, I think, a pile driver on Lex, and then Macho hits him with Mr. Fuji's bucket.
Yes.
And Lex pins Crush for the 1, 2, 3.
And the faces celebrate.
Yeah. You know, it's a good thing Jesse wasn't in the WWF because, you know, he'd be going ape shit over Macho hitting Crush with the bucket.
And, well, Gorilla will be defending it that, he brought the bucket there at the ringside to begin with. It shouldn't have been there in the first place.
All right, so now we go back to the theater with Paul. And he's like, oh, bravo, bravo, that Lex Luger, he's truly made in America. And now... as we draw close to the end of this special video, Paul Bear's WWF hits from the Crypt. Our final match could not be complete without one person, and That person is my Undertaker. Oh, yes. Now let's go to my Undertaker right now. Oh.
And for this match commentary team, we have Gorilla Monsoon and Johnny Polo.
And Johnny Polo right away says, oh, look at him. That Paul Bear, that tasty faced tub of goo. And then the best part is Johnny calling the Undertaker the Underwear Taker.
Undertaker is right there, Scott, you silly goober. Oh, like later on, I mean, there's another interesting character transformation stuff there too. I mean, not knowing ever anything about Scotty Flamingo or Scotty the Body in WCW, but to see Johnny Polo, this I'm guessing was probably Vince having a go at all the rich Connecticut blue blood type people that probably looked their nose down at him, to just the leather coat wearing Dinosaur Jr. band t-shirt wearing shorts wearing grunge person that we get in ECW, to some kind of weird hybrid later on in WCW when Raven has a sad and Canyon tries to make him happy, but then Mama Levy comes back and coaxes him back with his money, and for whatever reason, Raven decides to call Canyon a mark.
That whole thing with Raven was so great.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Gorilla and Johnny. Some of this is, I love this commentary.
Boy, would I like to see him get a piece of Fuji. Nice leverage move by The Undertaker, who's focused right now on Fuji, who is backpedaling in a hurry.
Oh, in a hurry for Mr. Fuji. He got some bad wheels on him, Mr. Fuji.
Got a bad attitude, too.
No, he doesn't. He's a great guy.
Obviously, you don't know him very well. He said some very derogatory things about you, Johnny Polo.
He did not.
They were truthful, but they were derogatory.
Did he really?
Said you were a lowlife.
He did not.
He did. Look at this. Oh, how many guys do you know, Polo, that can do that?
Oh, I know Michael Beckers can both do that.
They can, huh?
Jacques and Pierre.
They have trouble just walking on the sidewalk.
You know, you can make some inflammatory comments about Jacques' lack of brain power. I don't think that's very nice.
Well, it's just the truth. If you can't deal with the truth, then it's time for you to leave. He is brain dead.
Oh, see, The Undertaker went for a close.
I love the continuity they made.
From his previous comments about questioning Jock's intelligence.
Johnny's like, I heard that. But I love the fact that Bill Alfonso is refereeing this match.
Mhm.
So I gotta play these comments here from Gorilla and Johnny about Bill Alfonso here.
He may be out this time, Gorilla. Referee Bill Alphonse admonishing Paul Bear to get back to his own side of the apron or the floor.
Where did he get his referee's license from? A Cracker Jack box?
You can get them in a Cracker Jack box?
Well, he may have got his there. As I'm sure you can tell.
I would say Bill Alphonse is probably the worst referee other than that Joey Morella guy.
Don't start.
Oh my God.
That was also a thing too with like Jesse and Gorilla too. Like Jesse would always try to admonish Joey Morella about stuff, and Gorilla would kind of pipe up like, "Whoa, don't go there."
Okay, Crush is trying to set up his own version of the tombstone, but Undertaker, he reverses it for his own tombstone, and Undertaker gets the pin for the victory. I mean,
it's surprisingly it was an all right match. I mean,
yeah, I mean it's nothing special, but I mean,
yeah.
But Undertaker won. The crowd was happy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see the Undertaker get the victory.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Polo, what does he say here? He's a big, fat, pasty-faced tub of goo. That's what Paul Bear is. Crush will go back to the Hawaiian Islands thinking about what happened here in Springfield. But Paul closes out this tape saying, I knew you would enjoy that one. I certainly did. Oh, wasn't my Undertaker just deadly? Oh, yes, that tombstone does it every time. Oh, well, I'd like to thank you for joining me in Paul Bear's WWF Hits from the Crypt. Oh, and I would like to thank you for joining me in this beautiful old theater. Oh, I'm sad you didn't see any ghosts, but maybe one day we could meet again right here. Oh, yes. You know what? That would be terrific. I would have
Yeah.
loved to have gone back into the theater.
This could have been like an ongoing series that's from Coliseum Video that's, just presenting more matches from Paul Bear's personal picks or whatever. And
I will say the highlight of this tape was not only Paul Bear, but also the commentary from Gorilla and Stan Lane.
Never really heard too much of Stan Lane up here. And so it was different hearing him. And then just, like I said, they're just, when you're usually used to just one or two teams, it's different to appreciate, and now later on appreciate some of the things said and commentated by, and the different combinations of teams that they had on these tapes.
I would love to go back and do another one of these tapes sometime in the future. We'll see what the WWE Vault channel on YouTube has in store for us in the future going forward. But next time on the Squared Circle Time Machine, Dane. Well, I got a question. Is Mother's Day a thing in Canada?
We're like everyone else. Well, I guess Europe does it a little bit earlier, but we're along the same lines as the US in terms. Yeah, it's the second Sunday in May.
Okay, good. Because we're going to go back 30 years ago to a very special Mother's Day when the WWF, for the first time ever, decided to hold a value pay-per-view a month after WrestleMania.
Oh.
And would you believe this, Dane? But they had something very special to give away for this pay-per-view.
Ooh. The Playboy Centerfold of the Month?
I freaking wish, Dane. But no, they're going to be giving away a house, an actual house. And you know what the pay-per-view is going to be called?
In the House?
Close enough. It's In Your House.
In my house.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not exactly in your house. It's a concept. It's in your house, but somehow it's in upstate New York.
Okay.
I wonder, are they going to have steamed hams there in upstate New York for this show?
Well, will the Aurora Borealis be out and about, shining brightly?
We can only hope. At this time of day, in this type of year, located entirely within the WWF pay-per-view.
Right in this arena.
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure, Dane. It's going to be a lot, pal.
Oh, yes. It's going to be the first of many, or at least 30-some in your houses.
And we're going to be blessed with the greatness on Mother's Day in 1995 with Psycho Sid in the main event.
Psycho Sid!
But we'll be back here next time on the Square Circle Time Machine when we'll be in your house, in your house tonight.
Oh, yes, I remember. I vaguely remember the funky jazz soul music theme of that paper of the early In Your Houses.
Yeah, those were great. We'll have more to say about that next time for In Your House 1, right here on the Squared Circle Time Machine. I'm Greg, that was Dane, and we'll see you next time in the Squared Circle Time Machine. In your house! I was trying to do my British Bulldog impression there.
In your house!
In your house!
New house!
The house! Bobby Heenan, we know you took the dog. Please bring the dog back.
Bring back our dog.
Matilda, she's like a little child.
Jeff Jarrett complaining of a hair pull that nobody in the entire arena saw, including Gorilla and myself.
Hey, sit down there in the first row. Give me a break.
Right in front of us.
Gee, at least you could have did was bring a hot dog or something with you.
These guys were loaded down, popcorn, pizza.
And Sean gaining control once again with his reverse chin lock. Extreme pressure being applied to the ramus of the mandible where it articulates with the mandibular fossa of the temporal bone. I'm sorry I said that.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Gorilla.
I can't believe we're not getting some of the officials here from the World Wrestling Federation out here around ringside.
They must be back in the locker room playing cards or something, Gorilla. Can't believe they're not out here. Once again, Shawn Michaels and the bad guy and the referee still down. Although there is some sign of movement, some sign of life in the referee, starting to stir a little bit. Get up, Shawn! Come on! Get up, Shawn! This is unreal, Gorilla.
Well, you know something? I don't understand why Diesel just doesn't go right into the ring, take Shawn, put him over on top of Diesel, on top of Razor, and go over and get the referee and shake him, bring him around, and might as well do it all.
He might as well have done everything else but that, right? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.